Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back. The Saints Block Party podcast coming at you, presented by Precious Works LLC. For your business website needs, reach out to our guy, Bajan. He will hook you up. Oh, it is. It is time.
Made it, bro.
Oh, God.
Right at the finish line. You can see it.
Oh, it is 2026 draft week, finally. And we are recording this Monday evening. So we are 3 days away from night one of the NFL draft. The Saints Block Party podcast will be live in New Orleans doing our live stream for the entirety of round one. And we'll do it again for day two, with round two and round three. I said this in our Discord. The higher your team selects in the draft, the longer it takes for the draft to come.
Mm-hmm.
And the Saints are picking 8th overall, and there's just been so much talk. And I get it. That's just what the draft is.
Yeah.
But boy, I am ready for it to be over. I don't want to hear about hypotheticals. I don't. Well, if the third team does this, what do the Giants do?
These three players are left. Who will you take out of the? I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm just ready for it to be over, bro. I'm done. I said in the Discord, I'm probably not listening to any more draft pods the rest of the week, bro. I want y'all to listen to this one. Listen to this one.
Yeah, listen. Listen.
I'm not. I just can't do it. I can't do it no more, bro. I'm gonna listen to some true crime, something, bro. I just
get you through, bro.
Because it's so pointless too. It's like at this point, it's like everything you hear is like, okay, man, like whatever.
Like some of the things that are coming out, like there's some truth to them. There's also probably some maneuvering regarding like agents and teams. Teams want this to be out because they're trying to work and maybe trying to get a team to trade up. And it's all a game, bruh. It is all just a big game, and it's one of the best reality shows, like the draft, especially. It's such a great reality show to witness and unfold. So if you're watching also on YouTube, we appreciate y'all. Please like and subscribe. If you're listening, any, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, 5 stars, leave us a rating. It really, really helps the podcast out. And the Saints have, well, we don't know who's going to be there, but it is going to be very fascinating just to see what the team does in terms of who they drafted. Pick 8. We have theories of who the players might be, but we don't really know, bro. We have no idea.
Really don't know.
If you're listening to this and if you haven't, Ryan and I did our prospect matching episode yesterday. Very detailed episode, talk about a lot of prospects that match the Saints in terms of their athletic profile. So go and check that podcast out. That is Patreon only and YouTube member only. It is a great podcast to listen to have a draft primer, and it will get you kind of up to speed in terms of the prospects that will likely be on the Saints radar. And I'm not even saying for pick 8, I just mean overall, and players that probably are not going to be on their radar at all. So for this episode, we just wanted to, this is the last episode we'll put out before the actual live stream on Thursday. For all the Patreons, YouTube members, the link for the Zoom live stream will be sent out probably Thursday morning. I fly out to New Orleans on Wednesday, which I'm actually kind of glad, because that means like Wednesday it's mostly just travel, and like when you traveling, like you don't have like the time to, like, it's just bliss. Tony said there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's probably not an oncoming train. I hope not. Hope not.
We'll see. Might be another kind of train.
True. Shout out to Justin Cash for the $1 super chat. Appreciate you, Justin. Shout out to Rod. Said, what up, fam? See y'all soon.
What up, Rod?
So, Rod, see you soon, brother. As draft week is here, I guess I'll ask you this. Like, what are you, I know you're not seeking the information out, but what are just your final thoughts with the draft being 3 days away, in terms of how this pick is it's a very important pick for the Saints.
Yeah, man.
It's a very, very important pick for this draft is in totality, but just any final thoughts regarding the draft and at the end I'm gonna ask you ask you just to give a prediction of who you think they'll draft, but just overall thoughts as the draft cycle seems to wrap up soon.
It's just fascinating how I feel like the beginning of the draft cycle, it was all about Jeremiah Love.
Mhm.
And somehow it went like, we went from all about Jeremiah to like, oh, Love ain't going to be there. To now somehow it's like he's still in the mix. It's not to the point where like, oh yeah, the Saints are guaranteed to draft Love if he's there. He's not guaranteed to be there. But
Right.
I feel like just reading the tea leaves that, and just from like what we know, from sources and stuff like that, like there's a good chance that he could become a Saint, bro. Like, and it's just interesting that like it's just come full circle. You know what I'm saying? But not only that, Jordan Tyson, that was like the first player we did our prospect of the week on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Reading the tea leaves again, seems like, I mean, I don't know if it's just agent push or if it's like real. It seems very real to me just from what I'm hearing that, he's a legit candidate to be a Saint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has a high chance of being there, very high chance of being
Yeah.
there, in my opinion. So it's just very fascinating how it's all just come kind of full circle from where you start, all the
Yeah.
stuff that goes on in the middle, and now while you're right here on draft week, looking at
Right.
Jordan Tyson and Jeremiah Love, potentially.
It'd be funny I mean, somewhat funny as hell, if Arizona just quickly, like, extinguishes that Jeremiah Love fire, like, at pick 3, just puts it out. Which listen, I'm of the mindset when it comes to the draft, I'd rather a player get drafted before my team has an opportunity to pick them rather
Mhm.
than the player being available and
And then
then
you pass up on them.
pass up on them and then it's just a debacle. Like
Yeah.
that's a way of coping and maybe it may not
Yeah.
make sense, but it makes sense to me.
Oh
Like,
no, trust me. Sometimes I'm just much rather just so I don't want to have the option. I don't even want to
right.
have the option right there. You know. So it's gonna be interesting, bro. And we've been so burned and tormented by the Saints, in draft history. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for us to even have like a positive outlook. It's like a PTSD almost, man. It's
Yeah.
like trauma.
Yes.
Like we know they're gonna take a offensive lineman or they're gonna take. So I see people say Peter Woods. They're gonna take Peter Woods or Kelvin Falk or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like we just been so abused. Well, I want to say abused, but we just been so tormented by the Saints.
Yeah.
We just can't shake it. You know what I'm saying? And look, I put my board in the Discord, like my cloud. You know what I'm saying? My personal cloud. And I'm like, man, I'd be cool with like all these players. Like, some I'd be like happier than others, obviously. But like all of them, I'm like, man, hell yeah, just give me any of these. But then a part of my mind is like, the Saints ain't gonna take none of these niggas. Why?
Like these niggas
16,
all just
16 players on that list now. They ain't gonna take one of them.
not a single one, bro. No, we go. Shout out to I believe CJ at Simple Amazement for the 4.99 super chat, and then another shout out to Justin Cash for the $1 super chat. I did want to hit
Gosh.
on the rumor that came out over the weekend, right? So the rumor was, and it came out from I want to say Arizona Cardinals beat reporter Jenny something. I'm sorry, I don't know the name offhand, but basically stating that potentially there's been talks between the Saints and the Cardinals for them to move up to pick number 3, and it would cost the Saints pick 8, pick 42, pick 73. What I can say is that I do believe some I do believe there have been discussion and negotiations that have taken place between the Saints and the Cardinals. In terms of how serious those negotiations are, I still would say I don't know how likely that is to happen. And obviously, if they're moving up to 3, you would likely potentially be assuming that they're trying to move up for either like a Reese or a Bailey. It what'd be the most hilarious thing? And most hilarious thing is that of the 6 years of doing this podcast, we have been on this team about like adding juice for so long, like so long. Just add juice, add some like just get us excited that they would like give up the first 3 picks or of their draft to trade up for Jeremiah Love, bruh. Like, do you know how much we'd be cooked by
Oh,
by NFL Twitter, just all the podcasts is gonna be obliterating them, Wolf, if they did some shit like
cook,
that.
bro.
Cook.
Like not only taking a running back, top 3, top 4, whatever, but also trading up. So like giving up the opportunity cost for other players. Boy, cooking. And you are coming over a 6-win team, a 6-win? Like you're not like, you know what I'm saying? You're not like the Broncos or something else just right there, what?
It would be so ironic, Wolf. It would
Ironic.
just yeah. I can hear Mickey like, y'all niggas wanted juice, right?
Y'all wanted juice, right?
Y'all wanted juice, right?
Here you go. Hey, listen, like that's like Loomis's belief system. Like he believes in going get the player. Like, oh, y'all like this player? We got a consensus, right? Like we all love this player. Let's go get him. I'm going to get him. That's just how he views it. I used to actually like that view. I was like, yeah, man, let's just go get the player you love. But just over time, just studying the draft, I've just come completely turned on that viewpoint. Not that I'm against trading at all, but
yeah.
you gotta really be smart, man, the way you maneuver that,
And this, here's the thing is like, this is not the draft class to trade up. Like, this is not that class.
Everybody trying to trade down. Like,
yeah. Like, if this was 2027, and maybe you talking about like a Jeremiah Smith, a Cam Coleman, a Dylan Stewart, something like that, I think that's a completely different conversation, right? I would even argue the tight end at LSU, Green.
Mhm.
Like I think that's a very different type of discussion in terms of maybe trying to trade up and going to secure the player that you want rather than, but one thing, kind of getting back on the Cardinals thing, I was just going to say is that the big thing that the teams that want to trade down, so you got the Cardinals, maybe the Titans to a lesser degree, the Giants, and the Browns. No one who is wanting to go up is talking about including a 2027 pick to it. Right. So essentially what I was told is that the teams that want to trade down maybe have to either do one or two things. Just accept that if they're going to trade down, that they're not going to get as much as they want and kind of take 20 cents on the dollar, or just stay put and just draft stay at 2, stay at 3, stay at 4, stay at 5, and draft whoever you're going to draft, because you're not going to get those teams aren't going to get the value that they're looking for from teams wanting to come up in this draft class.
Exactly. And that's the kind of impasse you're seeing when you have all these teams. Trust me, everyone's trying to trade down. Everyone outside of the Raiders, like the Jets trying to trade down, the Cardinals trying to trade down. Everybody's trying to trade down. But you want to trade down, but you also want like some nice compensation. You know what I'm saying? And same for the teams that's trying to trade up. Yeah, I want to trade up. I would love to go to 3, but man, like do I want to give up a 2027 first and some picks this year? Like so yeah, all the teams are just kind of stuck there, and it's just a waiting game until draft day. Once you really get everybody in the room,
Final offer
is like, look, throw in so and so, and we could make it happen. And that's when you start seeing, you know, Mickey come with the, hey, what if I throw in a 5th? He come with his little, little 5th, got that 5th round.
I was thinking of like maybe a trade that would make sense. Kind of, I was driving home, and let's say the Saints want to trade up, but for who I don't know. Whether that's Love, I don't think they would trade up for Jordyn Tyson because that's a lot. Like, drafting Jordyn Tyson at 8 is one thing. Trading up for Jordyn Tyson is a completely different.
Drafting him at 8 is a risky bet.
Risk.
Like, it's risky business. To trade up for him? Boy.
Nigga.
Y'all really love him, right? Like, damn.
But is there... I'm going to throw this at you because I'm trying to think of how it potentially could kill two birds with one stone. And this is not anything that's sourced. This is just speculation, just fan theory, right? They trade 8 for the Giants' 5th. So I'm going to say 8 and 42 to move up to 5. But included in the getting them 5th pick, they also get Kayvon Thibodeau.
That could be something. So say it again.
So it would be the Saints' 8th overall pick and pick 42. And in turn, they would get the 5th overall pick and Kayvon Thibodeau. So you get a pass rusher because they want an additional pass rusher. Something that's
you're essentially trading
the
42
for Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, it's like I could swallow that because you would assume, okay, with that trade up, say they went to go get Jordan Love, you know what I'm saying? Say it's to go get Juice. Right. And then you get Kayvon Thibodeau. Like I could roll with that because, odds of finding a player on Thibodeau's caliber with the 42nd pick, or his odds are low. You know what I'm saying? So I would actually be fine with that. I'd be fine with that. Probably throwing a 5th rounder just to make
the nigga parsley, as Luke would say.
Something, just
sprinkle it. Just sprinkle it on the wings.
I would be able to accept that one, man, depending on who we're going up to get. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it'll be Juice.
Van Dabrowski asked, would Kayvon need to get paid? I would assume he's on his 5th-year option. And if you trade in a 42nd pick for him, like you're gonna have to pay him. Yeah. But then you get a little murky because he might ask more for what Chase wants, because Chase gets like $17 million, $7 million a year. And Kayvon's gonna be like, nah, I need more than that. And he hasn't really shown, a season like Chase had last. So I don't know. But yes, to answer the question, he would absolutely need to get paid. Because you're not gonna just trade the 42nd overall pick for like a player that's just gonna leave in free agency after this season. Like, that would make no sense. It was just something I was just kind of ruminating on, like, would this make sense? Like, but I don't know. I think that would be like a fun trade to happen. And I looked at it from the standpoint that the Saints really would be getting a player that feels a need for them.
Exactly.
Right. And I think that's a big part of the equation.
Huge part, because that's the reason I don't want to give up the top 3 picks specifically.
Right.
Because the Saints need starters. Like, they need legit contributors. This is still a team that needs, how many times have we said it over the past months? It's like, Saints don't have anybody to pay. They barely had anybody as like worth a damn that they could trade for like worth the wild picks. You know what I'm saying?
They have no one like Dexter Lawrence besides like Olave, and even he wouldn't command.
Right.
That'd be interesting. Like, what would he command? Like, in this draft, I think a team would be willing to give you a top. Like, nigga, if Dexter Lawrence, who was coming off an injured season, in a not great year last year, gave you the 10th overall pick in the draft, would a team give up a top 10 pick for Chris Olave? Not saying that they should do that. I'm just hypothetically, like, would they?
It makes me wonder. It does make me wonder, bro. It makes me wonder what they're hearing. Also, like with the Jordyn Tyson stuff, it does. I don't know. I'm not saying it has anything to do with Chris Olave, but it does make me wonder. Like, okay, if you got a Tyson and say he hit this year, like, I wonder how that would affect the Chris Olave negotiations, whatever. I don't think it would either.
I don't think it would, because I think the ultimate goal, and that's why we saw so much attention with meetings with wide receivers and running backs. I think they really want to have a full, accurate picture of what they have in Tyler Shough.
Mm-hmm.
That at the end of 2026 season, they can go into the 2027 draft either knowing one of two things. We need to go get our quarterback in this draft in round 1, assuming that the quarterbacks pan out the college football season, or we're good at quarterback for at least the next 3 to 5 years.
Mhm.
Let's continue to build this thing out. I think that question is so important for it's not something that I think. I know it's something that the team is really wanting to have the answers to that equation, because next season the schedule gets harder. The defenses
Mhm.
that Tyler Shough is going to face are going to be more tenacious and just harder
Ooh.
defenses in general. And if you were just expecting him to go into battle with like Chris Olave and Travis Achan and Noah Fant and Jawan Johnson and just be like, all right, buddy, figure it out. Like we got David Edwards for you. Like,
Hey.
good luck. Like that. I don't. So I really feel like this push is really coming from Kellen as part of it too, because he knows, like, he's the one who calls the offense, so he knows
Yeah.
we need some explosiveness, and so I think they really see the potential of Tyson being that, and Matt Harmon has spoken about this, at length, but the fact that if the Saints were to draft him, Jordyn Tyson doesn't have to come in and be like an X.
Right.
Kellen Moore can use him as the Z, move him around,
Moving around, motions.
have trips formation with, Olave, Tyson next to him, Bailey in trips, and just that's like then you cooking with something. Then you're
Yeah.
dictating to the defense as opposed to
Yeah.
the defense dictating offensively. And I, just reflecting back on like that first half of the Miami game, and some of that was Kellen's play calling. Like the way the receivers were running routes in the first half of that game was terrible. Like,
Yeah.
stop routes and just short routes, and like the Miami defense was all over it.
All
So
over it, bro.
if once you add a player like Tyson or who, as an example to that, then it gets a lot easier to call the offense, but also to give Kellen or allow Kellen Moore to give Tyler Shough more answers to the equation. And I think that part of it is a crucial factor.
Huge part of it, bro. Huge part. And I'm happy that the Saints are taking that approach. Because that's everything. Everything this year needs to be about being able to answer the question is of what is Tyler Shough? Like, what is he? You know what I'm saying? Not saying you'll be able to kind of map out his entire like potential and future, but will you leave this season saying, man, we got us like a legit like top
Let's say top
10,
15.
top 10, top 15, like
15,
in
top
that
12.
range.
Yeah.
Top 12, like but you got a guy. Like, okay, we
And you
got
and,
us a guy.
and you know it. And you don't have that like lingering question like, but do we? Is he?
Right. It's like, oh, we got that guy. You know what I'm saying? If you leave, you want to be able to at least be able to answer that question. You don't want to leave this season wondering like, damn, yeah, he has potential, but man, if we just add a little of this and add a little of that, then maybe
Add a little number 16 from Texas. I'm just saying.
yeah.
Stop.
I'm just saying. So but you want to be able to at least answer that question. You don't want to have regrets like, man, if we would have done this, if we would have made this move and that move and that move, we've been able to really know. And then you get caught up like them teams, like the Dolphins,
Yep.
right now, with $170 million in dead money because they just kept chasing dreams, kept chasing, well, man, if
Quarterback
we could just,
purgatory.
if we could just put this around him and put that around him and put this around him, that'll help raise his floor level and this and that and the other. No, man, no, you gonna know, like you gonna know if you got that guy. And
Yep.
the good thing is, like, at least from what he showed, through 9 games or whatever, he showed a lot. Like, he
A
showed a
lot.
lot.
Tons.
Wasn't enough to say, okay, boom, we got the guy, but it was enough to say, I'm willing to invest more to find
That
out
part.
that we got that guy. You know what I'm saying? Let's see him go against some tougher defenses. Let's go out and just dominate a game. I want to see that. Like, let's go win one.
Bruh.
Just win it. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of questions to get answered, bro.
Tons. All right, I'm gonna read this chats. Shout out to at Simple with another $4.99 super chat.
Thank you, Simp.
Says, yo, Adam, I got blocked a few years back over a Ruiz discussion. I admit I was wrong. He's ass. Can I get an unblocked button? Throw your at in the chat.
Add the chat, bro.
Another live unblocking taking place right now. And then Dante said, another victim of the hashtag blocked by Adam series, but I read blacked by Adam series, and I was like I was like, whoa, Dante, whoa. It's a different podcast. That's it. We're gonna take our first break right here, and then we're going to come back. We're going to do the live unblocking. We're going to reveal the 2026 Saints Block Party Podcast Big Consensus Big Board. Shout out to our guy Brock for putting this together. Great work. And then we'll do a last mock draft simulator, and at the end, we're going to give you our final prediction of what the Saints will do at pick 8 on Thursday's draft. We're going to be right back after this break.
The NBA playoffs are finally here, and Underdog is the place to get in on the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at the NBA playoffs and selecting Jason Tatum for higher than 28.5 points and Nikola Jokic for higher than 11.5 rebounds. Download the app today and use promo code BLOCKPARTY to score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code BLOCKPARTY. Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
We are back, and during the break, it's done. Unblocked.
Wow. Unblocked. Disclaimer. Unblocked. Doesn't mean you will stay unblocked.
Why you gotta put the disclaimer there? What? You can't let shit just crescendo in the moment and just be
Beautiful moment.
just let it go. He's right though. We have 56 concurrent viewers, and then 137 views right now currently going. I wanted to put this up, but this is the consensus big board of the SBP community. And again, shout out to our guy Brock for doing this. So just to give you the context of how this was done, our dude Brock in our Discord put a Google Forms list for everyone in our Discord to go in and rank players in this draft from 1 to 15. 1 being we feel that player is the best player in the draft, and then so on and so forth. And then everything got calculated. I don't know how many people did it. Maybe if Brock is in the live stream, maybe he could tell us how many responses there were. But all that to say, this is the big board of how it turned out. Also, just a caveat, there was like a wild card where we could like write in a player and assign that player a ranking as well. So wild cards are different, but just look at this consensus big board for our community. It kind of feels very similar to just like, like a consensus that you see like a Daniel Jeremiah would put out or whoever, which kudos to us. Right. But so at the top 5, we have Jeremiah Love, Alvaro Reese, Caleb Downs, David Bailey, Sonny Styles. The funny thing, it is very, I don't even know what the word is, ironic that for a fan base that has been clamoring for juice for so long, the first 5 players in the consensus big board, 4 of those players are defensive players.
Ain't that something? That's fascinating, bro. But it just speaks to the draft. You know what I'm saying?
It does, bro. It 100% does. After that, it goes to Ruben Bain, who is 6 on the big board. I'm very. How did Francis Mauigoa because I don't know. I don't know, bro.
I don't know, bro.
There's some O-line lovers in our community.
It ain't Bijan. I know that's.
Then with more juice after Moanoa, we had Carnell Tate, who's the first receiver with 125 points. Jordyn Tyson, 1 point behind him. Then you have Mansour Delane, Makai Lemon, Jermon McCoy, which the news about McCoy about his knee coming out today, bro.
I was like, ooh,
boy. Now, if he's there at 42, interesting. And then you have, I believe it's, I meant to watch a video of how to pronounce the name. I'm going to say Onawa, the Penn State guard, Spencer Fano, and then at the very end, you have Kenyon Sadiq at 202 points. Anything about our community's big board that stands out to you?
No, nothing really, bro. Like, honestly, it just looks, if you go to like mock draft database or whatever and look at the consensus big board or whatever, that's pretty much how it'll look, man. And it's just interesting that how people's viewpoints and their own analysis kind of just matches up. And I thought the wild cards were interesting because that's when you really get to dig in and see who people like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just fascinating that, like, even on my personal like board, I had Sadiq last.
Same,
like,
bro. Yes, I did. I think I did too.
And he's just last. He's last on like the
by a lot of points, like
by
almost
a lot,
like 20 points last. What's interesting is from like Bailey to Sonny Styles, that's a huge point difference.
Which makes me just fascinated to see where he gets drafted, because it seems like I can't really find anybody that's excited about Sadiq. Like, not even outside of Saints, just anybody. Like, just the draft nicks. Nobody's like, man, Sadiq. Whoo, I need that player. It's just like,
And he's a player where, again, I watched 2 games of him, all 22, that as freaky athletic as he is, you don't really see it on film. Like it doesn't, like, you would think for a player with that much athleticism, his athletic attributes would like, you see his
RAS, like, you see his RAS number. It's like, God damn, this dude must be like animal on the field. Then you put on a game, it's like, oh, he looks pretty good. You know, he looks good.
He's fine. But like, I remember like just doing our prospect matching project, and I watched Eli Stores on Friday. I was like, now this is a tight end right here. Like, I was like, this is like a modern NFL tight. Like, this is what a modern NFL tight end looks like Eli Stores. And but yeah, you could tell our community is lower on Sadiq. Like you said in our Discord, if they picked him at 8, you'd be so annoyed. But then like the next day, you'd be like, yeah, well, you know, 12 personnel, 13 personnel,
Oregon's offense, and it's like, you know. Hey, look, I didn't like Justin Herbert, you know, in Oregon's offense, and then look what he became. You know?
Just
coming up with all kind of shit, bro.
Just coping, bro. Just coping. But anything else for just our big board? And again, I want to give much love from Brock for just thinking about this and organizing. It was a great idea.
Great idea, bro. Great idea. That's what I love about our community, bro. They just, you know, they are also content creators along with us. You know what I'm saying? They help us out a ton, just coming up with ideas and stuff like that. And we like to bring those ideas to the forefront.
Yeah, we absolutely do. It is interesting to me that just from at least our Discord community, like, there's 1 point that separates both Tate and Tyson. I do wonder if the 1 point between Tate and Tyson, I wonder how much of that is recency bias for Jordyn Tyson.
I know. Because I've seen a lot of people have, even my boy Bunch, have like, they had to come around on like Tyson now. They're like, just coping already. Just coping already. Like, you know what? I could see it with Tyson. I could see it. Like, so I think there is some recency in there. You know what I'm saying?
And I want people to know this, right? We are both fans of Jordyn Tyson. We did a whole podcast episode on him. And I would suggest there's two versions of it. There's the version that doesn't have the all 22 that's on YouTube. You can watch or listen to, but the version that does have the all 22, that's Patreon only, YouTube member only, patreon.com/Saints Block Party. I think we were very fair with Jordyn Tyson just as a prospect. I think the thing that's exciting about Jordyn Tyson, if the Saints were to draft him, is two things. One, we be coming to a situation where he doesn't have to be the number one guy, which I think really is to his benefit, because I do think he does struggle with separation from time to time. Like that shows up on film, like in terms of his separation. But he doesn't have to be the guy. Like if he went to New York, he wouldn't have to be the guy. But if he went to a team like the Browns or the team like the Dolphins, like he is at a day one wide receiver one.
Yeah.
And I think that pigeonholes him into a role that is not great for him, kind of echoing what Matt Harmon said. Two, think the thing with him and Chris Olave, the ability to play off each other would be very, very big and key. But the fact that he is one of the better receivers that works with zones and being able to work against zones by Matt Harmon's reception perception is a fundamental, huge factor of why he would be such a great fit for the Saints and in Kellen Moore's offense, because a lot of teams don't run man, like a lot of defenses aren't running man coverage defenses anymore. Like they're not just thing. You're not having teams run like, okay, we're going to be in cover two. Even in cover two, like some of that doesn't even have like the man principles on the outside anymore. Some of that is very much, zone principles. So that's how NFL defenses have evolved recently. And you're getting a player who has the high intelligence of getting open and making plays in the zone. Those are the things that, him and Chris Olave could kind of play interchangeably and off of each other would make him be a very enticing option for them to draft at 8 if he ends up being the pick.
And and look, we'll see if we draft him, but one thing that excites me about him is he has so much potential there. Like there's so much.
Yeah.
Like you get him with, wide receiver coach Keith Williams. You get him really, like an NFL like training program, really understanding like the little minutiaes. Like he just watch on Chris Olave, the little things that Olave understands about route running and not like being able to he's from that like IG wide receiver era. And
yes,
Harmon talks about it like guys got to do all this and you're doing all this and all this fake stuff, and it looks great like on IG where you watch dudes running routes and all that. It's like, oh man, he think this is a good route. You ain't got to do all that in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? It's very like subtle in the NFL. Just a small head nod here and a small head nod there really like affects what you're doing against press man and man coverage and stuff like that. So I could just see if he's able to just stay healthy, stay on the field, and then just pick up all those little nuances that go into playing wide receiver. He has the talent to really be like really good. You know what I'm saying? And that's what excites teams about it. That's why even with all the injuries and all the stuff, teams see this like, man, that's a legit wide receiver right there. If he could put it all together, you know what I'm saying?
I remember just when I was watching him for our prospect of the week, to me, he has a lot of Jackson Smith and Jigba to him. If he were to like work out, just like how they win. I gave you a comp this past weekend of like Sammy Watkins coming out of Clemson a little bit too, like a little older, like an older comp, which is why I was saying that's an older comp, but like, whatever. Right. But that's the type of kind of explosiveness that potentially he could bring. Our dude Rod said, is Sadiq a more refined version of Juwan? I'm just sticking with my OJ Howard comp for Kenyon.
I like the OJ Howard. Like I said,
Eric Ebron.
Eric Ebron. That's what I first That's the first thing that always kept coming to me because, like, you're kind of a straight line-ish athlete. I think, Eric Ebron was a good athlete, but I think Sadiq has a little more juice to him, just like pure juice. Rosenthal threw out like a sort of like a volume turned down Vernon Davis.
See that too.
So like there's stuff there. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's stuff there, but I don't know. Like, then the tight end at 8. Tight end is just one of them positions, man. It's just a very weird position, bro. And the thing is crazy. Tight end is crazy because I'm not saying it's easy to find guys late, but like you just find them everywhere. Like it's such a weird position, especially with the way they get used in college. So there are other tight ends in this draft that I would prefer to go for than, taking Sadiq at 8. I just put it like that. But that said, if he was the play, which I don't think he will be the pick. Like I just don't think he is the pick. But if he was, I live with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be pissed about it. You know what I'm saying?
We'd roll with it. Ham is Fear 7156 said, few trades I heard today the Saints is connected to. The Saints send the 8th. I'm guessing he means the 42nd pick and the 3rd. Yeah, we talked about that. 3rd round pick to Arizona for the 3rd. Yeah, we already talked about that. You can watch the earlier part of the podcast of us kind of speaking to that. Let's take our last break of the show, and we'll come back. We're gonna do our final mock draft simulator of the season, of the draft season. And we'll be back right after this break. Yo, what up, Wolf? What are you looking at?
Man, I'm checking out this website. This site is cheats, bro.
In the 21st century? How do you have a crappy website? Couldn't be me.
They need to hit up our guy Bijan with Precious Works. Precious Works offers to not only build you a website that's tailored to you and your customers' needs, but also to continue to manage and maintain it so you can focus on your business. Don't have much time? Precious Works is just what you need. No out-of-the-box stuff like Squarespace or Wix. Precious Works will create a site for you. You won't have to worry about plugin updates, security, or things like that because Precious Works will maintain all of that and be available to you 24/7. Bijan set up Saints Block Party Podcast website for us a few years ago and hit it out the park. He also keeps it up to date and helps us anytime we want to add something new like a form or prospect matching tool that we did for the NFL draft. It's like having your own personal developer just a text or a call away. Precious Works has worked with everyone from small businesses to large firms, so no job is too big or too small. If you're in the need of a website or you currently have one, but you want to upgrade it, give Bijan a holler at Precious Works. You can get with him at Bijan at Precious Works, BIJON at precious.works, or go to precious.works for his website. Make sure to tell him Saints Block Party sent you.
We are back and oh
Think it's in, boy. Them cheeks tight.
Tight as hell. We are doing our final mock draft simulator of this draft season. We're using the Stick to the Model. If you're not familiar, sticktothemodel.com, great resource for draft, NFL in general. It's one of the few simulators that we haven't used over this draft cycle, so I wanted to kind of close out this draft cycle with us using Stick to the Model. Actually, I'm going to make that bigger because that's a little small. So, got the speed set up. Go at a nice speed. I upped the randomness just a little bit, just to get a little crazy. Not crazy, but just make it try to be actual close to NFL, how the NFL draft goes. We're doing 2 rounds. That's it. Just 2 rounds. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what we get offered. So let's just get it going. Fernando Mendoza, Sonny Styles. Oh, good. That's fast. Oh God. Okay. So just to recap, Fernando Mendoza goes 1 overall to the Raiders. Sonny Styles, which would be a very surprise, goes 2nd overall to the Jets at 2. Reese to the Cardinals at 3. Jeremiah Love to the Titans at 4. Mansour Delane, interesting, to the Giants at 5. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, bro. I just wouldn't, bruh. Francis Moinoa goes to the Browns at 6, and then you have the Cowboys trading up from 12 to 7 to draft Caleb Downs. We're on the clock. There's a David Bailey on the board, Ruben Bain, Carnell Tate. Someone's calling us right now. No. The Chiefs are offering us another 3rd round pick for just us to swap spots. So we'd have 73 and 74.
That's intriguing.
To move back. But Bailey on the board.
Bailey on the board, though. Who else is on the board?
Bailey, Bain, all the receivers. Boy. Also, I can't see anything the chat's saying right now just because how my screen is. So if you're saying stuff, I can't see it right now. Bruh. I think I'm gonna say this, Wolf. I'm probably the biggest David Bailey fan in this draft. The idea of this team moving back 1 spot and gaining an additional 3rd for a team that needs good players, and a lot of the meat of this draft is later on. I think that might be too good to pass up on, bro.
Too good, bro.
I think we gotta take that one. I think we gotta take
it.
All right. They go Carnell Tate, so we still have Bailey on the board.
Can you imagine that, bro?
Do you know how drunk I will be at the draft party, bro? Toe up, Wolf.
So you already know what to do with this pick.
All right, bro. I'm sending it in, bro. We taking Bailey at 9.
Oh, and we got another 3rd, boy.
Woo!
God don't love us like that, bro.
No. No chance. No chance. Chris Bell goes to the Giants earlier.
Good. I'm glad. Chris Bell. I'm so tired of taking him in 42.
Not a lot of juice on the board. Let me switch it to receiver. So we're at pick 42. I got Brazil. Zachariah Brent. Oh, I don't like these options for juice.
That juice went fast, huh, boy?
God damn. You got Bernard went to the Cardinals. You had Casey Concepcion go to the Steelers. Ooh, that juice gone. Even Peter Woods.
Can't even take old Pete.
He went to DA with the Dennis Allen. That's a very DA pick too, by the way. I'd be more willing to take Mike, but that's a bro. That's who's just the best overall player?
That's a pretty good player.
Honestly, I would if it was me, I would just take Pregnon. I would hate it. I would hate it so much. And if the first 2 picks, if they don't get juice, but then you get Ruiz. Oh my God. I'm gonna kill myself.
Man.
I don't know what to do, bro.
Give me, you know who I want? You know who I take?
Who you want?
Give me Eli Stowers.
You want Stowers? I love you some Stowers, bro.
It might be a little reach, but you know what? Fuck it, we got an extra 3rd. We cooking.
Don't care how the rest of this goes. Whoa! And that's a fun exercise to do because if the Saints don't go juice at 8, and I'm not saying that they have to, right? But the Saints don't go juice at 8. That may be a very realistic situation that if they're on come pick 42, maybe they realize, okay, let's say they went, I don't even know, Bain at 8, Delane at 8, something at 8. Maybe they feel that what happened in this mock draft may happen in real life, and they say, hey, we got to move up and draft a receiver bottom of round 1, top of round 2, because if not, we're not going to get the juice that we want.
And in a situation like this, by picking up an extra 3rd, maybe you hurry up and flip that 3rd again to move back up into the back of the first round. You know what I'm saying? And go grab I don't know, your Chris Bell or whatever, whatever wide receiver juice that you want. But that's another thing that just always in the back of my mind. If they don't go juice at 8, and like you said, I'm not saying that they have to go juice at 8. I'm completely fine going defense depending on the player. But people just assume that their players are going to be there at 42. You could just Get another wide receiver at 42. Boy, once that run start going, they start going fast, bro. And then you
Fast.
look and it's like, damn, that's all that's left. Sirac. Get Sirac.
Nigga, we got Sirac at home in Bailey, nigga.
Chris Brazil. I like Chris Brazil, whatever. Brazil.
But like, whoa, mixing up a lot of podcasts tonight, Wolf. A lot of podcasts getting mixed up tonight. That's, bro, the Sage drafted, that's his name, bro. Chris Brazil, bro.
Gotta get the little graphic going.
I need Kevin to like Photoshop Angela White next to him or some shit like that, bro. Of course, Yannick is saying that's why you don't go Bailey at 9. Like, that's not like.
Yannick, just go ahead, Yannick. Go.
What time is it in Africa right now, bro?
6 in the morning right
now. Brock said it's filled with D-line talent the same way it's filled with wide receiver talent, though. There's a drop. We have all kinds of holes that need to be filled.
Man.
Yeah, like,
and that's one of the things, like with this, with the Saints, we got so many holes, man. It's like you're always going to come away feeling like, oh, we need this. Oh, what about corner? Oh, we didn't get a corner. It's like so many holes on this team, bro. You're just not going to fill them all.
And that's why the possibility of them trading with the Cardinals and giving up 3 picks in the top 100 makes no sense for this team to do that. Like this, like, that is a move. And if they were to make that move, that tells me who has the full power in the building.
100%. That's Mickey all day. Lou
all
Miss.
Day. and that's the fun thing when the draft comes and goes, because I'm pretty sure when the draft is over, I'm going to have a very long text message in regards to all the ramblings, like what faction in the office was pushing for this player, and then so what we do is we record that, and that becomes a Patreon only episode of what we heard that was going on in the Saints draft room, like we did last year. But all that to say, as we wrap this up, Yannick said it's lunch pail hours. Okay, so I guess it's like lunchtime there. Maybe I don't know. I'm assuming. I don't know. That also means like Pete Warner to me, so that means very different things.
Lunch pail just go different meaning here, you know?
Different meaning. All that to say, as we wrap this up, night 1, round 1, pick 8 for the Saints. So when they say at pick 8 comes, who is your prediction of who the pick will be at pick 8?
I can't shake the feeling, and I'm about to go. I think it's somebody that people don't expect, man. I'm gonna say Cornell Tate. Say Cornell Tate. It's like we're not hearing about him. Doesn't seem like the Saints like him really. It's not really a baby. It's me wanting it to be Cornell Tate. Honestly, I just want it to happen, man. I would love. He just makes so much sense for the Saints, man. I just don't get it. I don't get it, Adam. Like, they should be in love with Cornell Tate. They should be in love with him. And it's like when you see like all the visits they've done with him, it's like they're trying to convince themselves to like him. You know what I'm
saying? Thank you for saying that. Right. When I went back and I listened to Jeff Ireland talk for 10 minutes at the Senior Bowl when I was writing the article for a prospect matching thing, one thing he said that stood out to me about kind of like, someone asked him about like the percentage of guys that they've drafted from the Senior Bowl, like if they've been hits or whatever. But like basically the part that stood out to me was that he said after meeting with the guys at the Senior Bowl, seeing them up close, blah, 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 one thing that they kind of have a way better idea at being at the Senior Bowl, meeting all these prospects, is they have a better idea of who the person is.
Mm-hmm.
And just listening to how Jeff Ireland talked about it, the team knowing who the person / player is very important to the Saints. Mm-hmm. And what I feel that what is happening, or what that has happened, is that they have been trying to figure out who Cornell Tate is.
Mm-hmm.
And if they come draft night, they still don't know, like, take the, I'm saying like football player aside, just who this person is as a person, right? Because if they're investing a pick into a player, especially like a high pick, they want to know who this person is. Now, if they are like unsure of who he might be, I think, that may be something that keeps them from drafting him. I'll give you and I'm not saying Carnell Tate's going to end up like this. I'm not saying this at all. Please don't assume like I'm not. But the worst thing that a team can do, Saints or any other NFL team, is what the Titans did with the Georgia offensive lineman. Was it Isaiah Wilson?
Willis.
I believe
Something
Willis
like that.
was where he was drafted. I think he might have been drafted 8th overall. Like he was drafted in the top 10, and he was out of football after the first year. He said, "I don't."
He just wanted that
football.
bonus check, bro. He wanted that bonus check, and he was like, "Peace."
It's like I think I'm gonna just go pursue my rap career. Like, yeah, I'm good. That's like the worst thing that you can have as an organization, because you've had months. You have been doing research on top of research and scouts and talking to high school coaches and college coaches. So
it's a real thing, man.
It's a real. So that's the thing where I think where they are maybe struggling with the Carnell Tate is that they don't maybe know, they can't figure out who he is as a person.
Right.
I'm gonna go. So you're going with Juice. I'm gonna go with one of the best players in the draft. I'm just gonna go. I think when all said and done, it'll be Caleb Downs. Just a feeling I have.
Ooh.
Just a feeling I have.
That would make me, man. I tell you, they pick Downs, bro. It would make me feel so safe. Like, no pun intended. Even though he's a safety, but it just make me feel safe. Like man, we got a good player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even as much as I would love like a Jeremiah Love or Jordyn Tyson, man, just Caleb Downs would just feel like, man, we got somebody that's gonna be like a rock for this organization for a long time. One of those load-bearing walls that Jordan Rodriguez likes to say. Like he would be one of those players. I would love that, to go through all this process with a player that we've probably been talking about since during the season. You know, Caleb Downs. It's Caleb Down. To end up with him, that'd be cool as hell, bro. Cool as hell.
It would be.
But what would Caleb Downs, like, what would that signify to you, though, from like a who's in control, who's calling the shots point of view?
I think that would, I think it depends on who's on the board if they were to draft him. But if they drafted him, if let's say Jordyn Tyson's on the board, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, let's say all three of the receivers on the board, and they drafted Caleb Downs, I think that would show me that Kellen is trusting Jeff Ireland and trusting the grades of the players, and kind of not conceding, but just saying, you know what, Jeff, if you're saying that this player is grades, this many grades higher than these receivers, even though I want to add juice to the offense, I'm conceding with you. I agree with you. Let's roll with it. Then I also think that may signify, okay, if they go Downs at 8, maybe Mickey has told Kellen, don't worry, bro. We got you. We got you. We hear you, bro. We gonna get.
Be careful.
I know you need the juice. I know, bro. Because to me, I was thinking well, if they needed to trade, if they were trying to trade up from 42, let's say back half of the first round, let's say 25, 26. They wanted to add Omar Cooper, Casey Concepcion, a Denzel Boston, something like that. You're giving up 42, but then the other part is what else are you giving up? Because you're gonna give up something else.
Yeah,
I feel like if it was a 2027, I don't know, 2027 third, I don't know if that's enough. That doesn't feel like it's enough.
Yeah, it's going to be a little more. It's going to be a little more for sure. But I've seen with the charts, like an extra fourth and a third and stuff like that could get you up there. So they might be able to maneuver without giving up too much to get to the back of. I would think that would be the move, though. If they went Caleb Downs at 8, I think you would see them working the phones to get back
hard
into the first round, bro.
Hard.
Especially when the juice start coming off the board.
Ooh.
Just for my personal, if they ended up with KC Conception, And Caleb Downs?
Nick,
Oh, boy.
bro, you know how drunk we'd be, bro. My only thing with KC Concepcion, and I've been thinking about this, is there's a part of me that worries that he may be too duplicative in the offense, just like Rashid Shaheed was with Chris Olave. That's my concern.
Absolutely has that possibility, bro. Absolutely has that possibility in this offense. Although I do think there are some elements that he would bring that Rashid just didn't have in his bag.
I also think KC Concepcion is just a much better overall receiver than Rashid Shaheed is, even right now. Like so I think that takes some of the worries away a bit.
But he would also provide that similar dynamic just of because Rashid was that one player where it's like we got to make sure to leave somebody up top. You know what I'm saying? Especially like before last year, before he got injured, it was like that was some scary speed, bro. Like scary defenses. And KC got that. He got that one trick, and I feel like we need that. We need that component on the offense at some point.
Sure.
It might not even be this draft that they can get that, but they need that at some point.
Let me just catch up on the chat as we close out. Tramal Molly Mall said, "What if they go Delane at 8? They go Delane at 8. They go Delane at 8. Like, I think he's a good player. Like, would I be excited about it? Like, no. But I wouldn't be upset about it.
Right. Yeah, it's just like cool. You know what I'm saying? Cool. got a nice corner, man. Like give him some juice.
Jeb Hatfield 485 said, "I don't think Kool-Aid and Downs got along together at Alabama." They literally were like talking on the podcast recently.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the case. Or maybe that was the case in the past. I don't think that's still like the case now. I also said if Loomis trades up, he's always going to overpay. Yeah, it just comes with the territory of. And then Tramali Mall said Loomis might pull Sonny Styles at 8, and then our dude Scotty said, "How about Sonny at 8?"
Just never got the Sonny Styles feel from the Saints, bro. Could be wrong, but I just never got the. I never got it.
I think he entered their cloud later, like post combine. And I think so I know he's in their cloud as we talked about in the past, but and I'm not saying that they shouldn't draft Sonny Styles at 8. I want to be clear with that. It would be a little surprising if they did take him at 8. It would just surprise me a bit. Maybe he's the pick at 8. I have no idea, but it would surprise me a bit if he's the guy at 8.
It would.
But he's a phenomenal football player, so I'm not upset or mad. But I think if he is a pick at 8, I think fans should maybe have their expectations toned down a little bit, just in terms of how good he might be as a rookie.
Right.
Would be my thing. I would just say about Sonny Styles. Anyway, we talked about it. Talked about a lot. Hit on a lot of topics. It is draft week. We appreciate all the support throughout this entire offseason, including free agency, draft, all that. We finally get the rest of the answers to the equation.
Yes.
Thursday night, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The SBP community will be deep in New Orleans this upcoming week. So we are planning to have so much fun and hopefully be happy with the draft selections that we have this week, but also keeping that same mindset is like, if you're not happy when the draft happens, like sometimes the results on the field may completely surprise you. Like we saw. And the funny thing is, like, we weren't like, I didn't even dislike Kelvin Banks as a player. It's just like what he like represented. And then
represented.
And then we watched his film. And we did the prospect of the week of him. He was like, damn, like this is a good tackle, bro. Like this is a good. So all that to say, even if we're not happy this week in regards to the draft selection, who knows? We might have egg on our face and be proven wrong. So we will be back. Next time we'll be back will be on Thursday for our live stream at the draft party meetup in New Orleans. So hope to see so many of y'all there who are Patreon members and YouTube members. So we appreciate y'all as we wrap this up. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. With that, we are out.
Peace.